Welcome to a brand new save on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 1 of Rebuilding Manchester United, and it is the year 2039 in my unemployed journeyman universe. And in this world, Manchester United have not won the league in over 25 years. In fact, all they have to their name is a couple of Carabao Cups. Last season, they finished 17th in the league, 6 points off relegation. Oh, and we also have no transfer budget. Well, here we are on the job offer screen. Man United approach heels. We've got no transfer budget. £3.3 million wage budget seems pretty low to me. I have promised them that I will not accept or not apply for any job applications, and I'll keep the director of football in place. Before we accept this and get into Manchester United, the rebuild and all that sort of stuff, let me explain how I got to this point. So at the end of the unemployed journeyman, I basically resigned from my role as Cape Town City manager. I then had a look around football to see what interesting saves there could be. And when I looked at Manchester United, if we have a look at the Premier League, as I said in the intro, 17th in the league, 6 points away from relegation. That is how close they've come to being relegated. They have been absolutely awful. If we have a look at their overview, their history, I mean, this goes back to 2017-18, where they finished second in the league. If we actually have a look at the Premier League to see when the last time they won it was, it's probably going to be whenever it was that they won it in real life, which is 2012, 2013. They came first, City came second, and Chelsea came third. That is what, 26 years ago? We're about to enter the 27th season. So 26 years without winning the Premier League. And if we have a look at the trophy side of things, competitions might be an easier way to look at it. They've been in the final of the Champions League in 2026. But other than that, they were runners up. They didn't win it. Then in the Premier League, as we know, they've not won that. In terms of being runners up, they were runners up in 2029. They were third in 2028. So in the 15 years that this save has been going, they've had a runners up in the Champions League, a second place in the Premier League, and a third place in the Premier League. No World Club Championship, no other European trophies to talk of. The FA Cup, they've not even got to the final of an FA Cup in 15 years of this save. The Carabao Cup, they won that in 2032 and 2028, and they were runners-up in 2029. So basically, in 15 seasons of this save, they've won two Carabao Cups and not even got into an FA Cup final, and it's just been really, really poor. We'll have a proper look at Man United in a minute when we get in. There's no point going into it right now. But yeah, so basically going back to what I was saying about how I got to this point, I created another version of myself to basically become Man United manager and then retire that manager so that the job became available. I then applied for it, went for an interview, and as you can see, I have now been offered the role of Manchester United manager. And yeah, when I saw where they were in the league and had a look at their history and everything else, I mean, I am stunned that Manchester United have become this in Football Manager, because ordinarily in every FM save I do, Man United are very overpowered in the game. So start negotiations. They're offering me £43,500 a week. Can we get that up to 45,000? And they've accepted that. Okay. So what they also want as well is work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation, maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 32, maximum 2-year contracts for players over the age of 30, record a Premier Division top half finish for next season. So all they want is for me to get to the top half of the Premier League next season. I hope we can do that. And win a domestic cup the following season, work towards qualifying for the Europa League, and every season after that is just work towards. It's qualified that season, then continue to qualify. So as long as we can qualify for the Europa League in a couple of years' time and continue to qualify for it, they are very happy with that. Right, let's finalise the deal and exit the talks. We'll skip forward and we'll get the little introduction screen come up. There you go. Manchester UFC, high heels. Manchester United have today confirmed the appointment of Damien Hills as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised. I mean, I don't know why, because I'm in this universe. I am a legendary manager. Of the 59-year-old, blimey, who has recently spent time away from club football. I mean, I was unemployed for about 2 weeks, and he is sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Old Trafford. Hills, who of course most famously lifted the UEFA Champions League with Borussia Dortmund in 2035. I mean, you might want to put in there that I've lifted all the Champions League. We've done the Pentagon Challenge. Could be considered quite a coup for a club of Man United's standing, and supporters are excited at the potential of similar successes under their new manager. He replaces previous manager Damien Hill. That was the made-up version of me. Andreas Georgeson was considered to be the favourite for the job, particularly in the wake of reports emerging that he was a preferred candidate, but the club eventually moved in a different direction. We finished 17th in the Premier League. We lost 4 of our last 5 matches. So, yeah, there you go. That is how it looks. Let's click next. Director of football is Theo Cashket. We'll meet him soon. My assistant manager is Kieran Tierney. Well, as an Arsenal supporter, I actually quite like Kieran Tierney, so we may well be keeping him around. We'll have a look at what he's like in the game. But I plan on being very ruthless. Our finances are only okay. This worries me. No, what I'm hoping is once we tick over into the new season, that we do get a transfer budget, because that is a concern. We've got great training facilities, excellent youth facilities, and exceptional youth recruitment. They do want us to look at the youth side of things. Last season, 17th in the Premier League, quarter-finalists in the Carabao Cup, and knocked out in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Liverpool, our fierce rivals. Media prediction is 9th. I mean, they're not even a 5-star reputation team. They're 4.5-star. Proves they are falling. They're wanting they've played a 4-2-4. We will be looking at doing a 4-3-3 in this club. Kobe Mainu is still, they'll recognise him obviously from real life. There's not anybody else in there. All the others look like regens. They are regens. So this point in the game, when you're 15 years in the future, there are going to be very few real life players left in it. We've got a bit of transfer business going on there. That's fine, whatever. Our hot prospect is Eddie Bathers. And our captain is Greg Chalmers. Our key player is Michael Urruti. Where does he play? He's a right back. Okay, I mean, looking at that, he does look very good. He's got 16. I think I'm going to like this lad. I mean, he's on £325,000 a week and he's 30 years old. Okay. Right, moving forward, we know all about that one. Let's click the next button. The supporter culture. Play entertaining football. Develop players using the club's youth system. Play attacking football. Play possession football. Play high tempo pressing football. Make the most of set pieces. I like my set pieces. Be competitive against City and Liverpool. Get the better of our rivals' leads if we happen to play against them. And record a Premier Division top half finish. We definitely do need that top half finish. That is every month. Meet the press. Yep, fine, whatever, we'll do that. And here we are as Manchester United manager. And this could be one of the toughest tasks I've had, because this save will go on until FM25 comes out. And where we are getting a beta version of FM25, it could be that we've only got about 6 weeks left of this game. It could also be we've got about nearly 3 months left of this game. But either way, I'm hoping to get about 5 seasons done of this save. So I'm kind of telling myself within 5 seasons, we need to win the Premier League, win the Champions League, and have Man United as the dominant force in English football. Right, let's have a look at the squad and see where we stand in terms of what players we've got and what tactic we're going to do. And here we are on the squad screen, and we have got a big squad. If we have a look at it from top to bottom, this is a very big squad. We have got 30 players in this squad. Okay, that is a lot of people. We've got 2 goalkeepers and they both look rubbish, to be quite honest. That's one area I do want to improve, is the goalkeepers. We've got a lot of... out of this 30-man squad, how many of them are defenders? Goes down to here. Wow, we've got 16 defenders. Well, 14, take off the 2 goalkeepers. 14 defenders in a 30-man squad. Yes, some of them can play other positions, like this guy here, who's got a decent rating about him. He can play anywhere down the left-hand side by the looks of it. He can do a decent cross. So he could even be an inverted winger for us on that left-hand side. Or he could even be a left-back, a wing-back. What's he like on attack? Yeah, he loves being on attack. So he is 30 years old. If you've never watched any of my videos before, you'll know that once a player gets to 30, I tend to try and move them on. I like to have young players in my squad. But for this save with Manchester United, I might need to abandon that, at least for the first couple of seasons. But he does look like a decent player. We've got a lot of defensive midfielders. If we filter this by ability, Michael Urruti is our best player, 30 years old. He plays on the right-hand side. He's not... yeah, we could have him there. Yeah, he actually looks... I mean, he will probably be the attacking option, actually. If he can do a wing-back on attack to a 4-star standard, he's got good acceleration, good pace, excellent crossing. He can also tackle, good technique, marking, passing. He is very good, actually. How they've managed to keep him at the club, I'll never know. What I would like, what's his contract? So he's got a couple of years left on his contract. Then Fabio Ferreira, I know him from my time at Borussia Dortmund. He is a very decent player. I don't usually do a deep line playmaker. I usually do an advanced playmaker and a Mazzala in the central midfield areas. He can do both, prefers to be an advanced playmaker. If we have a look at that advanced playmaker on attack, his dribbling is not particularly good, but he's good to excellent in every other aspect of the role. Then our next best player is Bamba Niang, who is he can do the anchor role. He prefers to be a defensive midfielder. I do like to have that as an anchor. So he is most likely going to be my anchor in the 4-3-3 formation. 30 years old. Again, he's played 232 appearances for United. He's been here for quite a few seasons and has just been here to see it decline, basically. Then we have this guy that we've already looked at. So we've basically got a left, right, defensive midfielder and a midfielder in front as our 4 best players. Greg Chalmers, who's 29 years old, was he the one they said was a club captain? Oh, he's 5'10" as a centre-back. Okay. I mean, to me, if you're not 6'1" or above, then you're not really a particularly good centre-back. But we'll see. He's definitely an option for that role. And like I say, he's actually one of their best players. Kobe Mainu is also one of their best players in the midfield. He doesn't really fit with what I want. Can he do the anchor on backup? He can to a 3-star. If we move him forward a little bit, I mean, he can do the Mazzala, so we could actually have Ferreira and Mainu as our 2 central midfielders with, is it this guy Niang? Yeah, Niang in the anchor role. So that's most likely to be a midfield 3. We then look at this guy here, Antonis Saravelis. He's a striker, 17 finish, got good pace and acceleration. I like that a lot. He's pretty double-footed. He's good off the ball. He's determined. He's got excellent composure. He's brave, good and really good anticipation. He does look like a good player, actually, I must admit. And he does the advanced forward role that I like a lot as well. He was at RB Leipzig previously, but again, he's been at Man United for a long time. If we actually, where's the guy gone again? Let's have a look at him. He's actually played 299 appearances for United. Last season, as a striker, 34 appearances, 17 goals. I will want better from him than that. But he does appear to be our best striking option. We've got Jonathan San Martin, who could play in the defensive midfield role as an anchor. Do you know what? I would love to put him in that role. He's young. He's got potential. He's got current ability as well. I like the look of him. He's only been here, for a season, I would say. Yeah, came in for 4.3 million from Colo Colo. Okay, I think we've got something reasonable to work. I mean, I will say, once you get past San Martin, it drops off a little bit. You get some very average players around here whose contracts are expiring. We need to look at that. Just this guy here, Jose Ramon Iglesias. Weren't he a singer? He's 3 stars. He's one of the, he's a striker. We'll probably not bother trying to keep him at the club. We'll let him go. He's currently on £49,000 a week. Then at the end of next season, we have quite a few players. Kobe Mainu is running out of contract as well. I mean, how many appearances has this guy made? 538 appearances. I mean, look at it. I mean, surely this guy's a club legend. He's got to be, surely. No. Is he not? Right, I don't know if oh, here we go. So he's an icon at the club. I mean, to be fair, maybe he's not going to be a legend because the whole time he's been here, they've been rubbish, quite honestly. But I mean, look at his ratings as well. He's over a 7 every single season. He scores goals, he gets assists. He has been really good for United. I don't know how he's not moved on at some point during his career, but he has been a one club man. Right, let's get to the tactics and let's implement the tactic that we hope will take us to glory with Manchester United. Right, here we are. We've got 2 tactics set up. The first one won't be a surprise to anyone that's watched my videos in the past. It's a custom vertical tiki-taka 4-3-3 formation. 2 ball-playing defenders on defend. They might change. One might become cover or whatever, depending on what they prefer to play. And that is not going to be there, so we'll change that. So 2 wing-backs, 1 on support and 1 on attack. The 2 inverted wingers, depending on what the wing backs are on will depend on what they're on. So we've got a wing back attack here. So this inverted winger is on support. This wing back's on support. So this inverted winger is on attack. Advanced forward. Then we've got the anchor, the Mazzala, and the advanced playmaker. The anchor obviously on defend, Mazzala on support, and the advanced playmaker on attack. And what I like with this formation, and as we play games, you'll see it for yourself, is how the Mazzala gets out here, and you get the Mazzala, the wing back, and the inverted winger all combining on this left hand side. And it also kind of works out the same way with the advanced playmaker. He gets involved with this inverted winger and this wing back as well. If we have a look at this side of it, we've got overlap left, overlap right. That's a change. If you do the standard version of this, the standard tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka, it will do focus play down left and right. I don't necessarily want to do that. I want them to decide where it goes, but I do want my wing backs to bomb forward. Work ball into box. The only thing I've turned on this side of it is play for set pieces. I've changed nothing on the in transition side. I've just left that as it is. And out of possession, I've left that exactly as it is as well. I might make some changes. I know in the past I've turned on trap inside so that way you push the opposition into the middle where you've got this box of 5 that can kind of break up play and then distribute the ball out to the wingers or whatever. So we'll see how that goes as the season goes on. The other formation we've kind of gone with what they wanted to do at the beginning with a 4-2-4. We've done Gegenpress because it was one of the ones that they said was the best option for them. It was either that, wing play, or route 1. And I just thought we'd go for Gegenpress. We're not doing 4-2-3-1 though, because I consider that a bit cheaty, a bit cheesy maybe. Right, there you go. That's the tactic. If we select without restrictions our best 11, this is, oh blimey, look at all these lines. This is what our assistant manager, Mr. Kieran Tierney, I presume, is giving us. So if we go back to the squad screen, so in central defence, they've gone for Jordan Crossan to be in here. Is he a youngster? Yeah, he's 20. He's got plenty of potential. Very weak left foot, so that's why they put him on the right-hand side. Okay, so looking at the actual squad itself, for centre-back, if we filter this by ability again, we've got all of these players in here, that's fine. They've got Niang in the anchor role as well. I just think, is there not anyone better than, is it Felipe that looks a bit rubbish? Yeah, Felipe looks a bit rubbish as he's 28 years old, so he's not actually going to get any better on the right-hand side. What other options do we have in our squad that could potentially play on that right-hand side? I mean, Kian Kolar, oh, he's 6'4". Shame he's not a centre-back. He can play on the right-hand side. He prefers to be a winger, can do the inverted winger. Okay, because I don't always agree with my assistant, I must admit. Diego Sosa, no, this is where you get into very mid-level players. So, okay, we'll leave that as it is for the time being. This is what they're saying is our best looking first 11 in this tactic. We have got players away on holiday. Obviously, it's not the 30th of June yet. So I think what I'm probably going to do is move forward to the 1st of July. Before we do, let's have a look at our dev centre. We've got a strong under 18s and an average under 21. So let's have a look at the under 21 squad. If we filter it by potential, we've got John Allen as a striker here. He's on £33,000 a week and he's valued 33 to 38 million pounds. He's a striker. He's someone we could potentially bring into our first team squad and see if we can maybe give him some game time. We've got a couple of other promising players here. Duda Mendy as a defensive midfielder can kind of play the anchor. He doesn't have great potential. Probably only going to be 3 stars. He's 18 years old at the moment. Potentially could be 4-star, but I'm not overly excited about him. Jose Antonio Munoz, kind of the same as the other guy, and the fact his crossing is really weak. He can play right and left though, so he could be an option for us from the bench maybe. Simone Cesarano is another one. He's, again, can do the defensive midfield but prefers to be a deep line playmaker. He would probably be better as an advanced playmaker in the midfield. Has a bit of potential, got good first touch and technique, and he is determined. 18 years old. Might be an idea to send these players out on loan and see how they get on. Other than that, we're looking at a bit rubbish. If we have a look at our under 18s, I mean, considering that's meant to be a strong squad, that does not fill me with too much excitement. Ian Fairweather is the pick of our talent as a striker, and I don't think he's got much of a future with us, to be honest. If we have a look, by the way, at the club info screen, training facilities are great. Youth facilities are excellent. Youth recruitment is exceptional youth recruitment and exceptional academy coaching. So their youth should be really good. We probably need to try and upgrade our training facilities though. Right, there you go. That's what our tactic looks like for the time being. I think what I'm going to do, if we have a look at the finance, we are way overspent on our wage budget. Even with that guy leaving, it's going to take us to, we're still going to be just over £200,000 over our wage budget. Ouch. Negative there as well. We're waiting for money to come in at the start of the new season. So I'm probably going to meet you back here on the 1st of July. I'm going to have a look at my scouting, my staffing. Let's have a look at that. I haven't looked at that yet. Wow, we've got 5 coaches we need to bring in. Looking at this, we have 1 goalkeeping coach. We need to bring in at least 1 of those, if not 2. We have 3 fitness coaches. So we're probably looking at 2 goalkeeping coaches and 3 regular coaches to bring in. Kieran Tierney, our assistant manager, is not the greatest in the world. But, I mean, he's been an assistant manager at Luton and at Nottingham Forest and now here. So he's got a bit of experience. We'll keep him around for the time being, definitely. In terms of our scouting, we've got 1 scout to employ, but we have got the best scouting in the league. And we've got 2 sports scientists to bring in. Does anyone leave this season? This guy here, the sports scientist, Michael Eglon, does. Apparently we've already offered him a new contract. Okay. Right, I'm going to have a look at my staffing, at the responsibilities, all that sort of stuff. And I'll probably meet you back here. Go away. Meet you back here at the 1st of July to see what's going on with the club, whether we've got any signings in mind, that sort of thing. A goalkeeper is a must. I need a goalkeeper, but I just don't know where I'm getting one from with no money. Okay, it's not the 30th of June. It's only the 15th, but I had to bring you back to show you this. Man United have dropped 3 places to 102nd position in the new European club rankings for next season. I mean, that is ridiculous. Ranked 102nd in the league or in the rankings for Europe. Oh my God. England did get coefficient, by the way. We have got a few players that are going out on loan, like this guy here. He is in our youth team. He's very mid. But yeah, I just thought they're offering a little bit of money for his wages, 20%. This guy as well is going out. They're offering like 10% and 20% if he's not being paid. Pavel Krashik, he's also in their main squad as well, but pretty rubbish, as you can see. And this goes in our youth development centre, yeah, under 21s. He's going out on loan as well. So, yeah, we're starting to get a few people out, or out on loan at least. I have set up a recruitment focus for our goalkeepers. I've done the set piece. I've had a look at my staffing and set the responsibilities in that. The set pieces have been set up. So, yeah, we're getting ready for the 30th of June to tick over. Well, this was unexpected. A tycoon is eyeing Manchester United Football Club. Again, as I've said in previous episodes of the series that I've done where we've had this come up. I'll believe it when it happens. I don't believe it will happen. But we are the subject of a takeover bid. And again, he's going to invest larger sums of money in new players and facilities. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I had Gavin take over in Solihull Moors, who's not a tycoon, he's an entrepreneur. And he's been fantastic in that series. That comes out every Sunday. Little plug for you. But yeah, if that happens, we'll believe it when we see it. We've been given £80 million for the Premier Division TV rights. Let's have a look now, because we've got the all-important fixture list has been revealed. And as you can see, I've not looked at it yet. Here we go. I want a nice start. I don't want to be getting Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, all that sort of stuff. Chelsea and Wolves in Chelsea and Arsenal in their first 3 games. Wolves, Burnley, and Everton. Well, Wolves, Burnley, and Everton seems friendly enough. Let's have a look at what it was like last season in terms of where these teams finished. Go to the stages. Go back to last season. Wolves were 14th, Everton were 10th, and Burnley were 11th. Okay, fair. Chelsea were 5th. So, okay, maybe not too bad a start. And we are home against Chelsea as well. We are away against Arsenal. So that could be a bit of a baptism of fire. We will accept the invitation for the under-18s league and all that sort of stuff. Friendlies are being put up, all these people getting wage rises. I've just started to trim this a little bit, but now it's started to go up a little bit. But we have had players going out on loan. If we scroll down, Kroshek, Sosa, Allen, Mendy and Cesarano. Cesarano is the only one, and maybe Allen as well, where we're not getting anything for it. But Mendy, Sosa and Kroshek, they are paying little bits of their wages. We have got a player coming in as well. I just noticed this a little bit earlier on. Jose Ramon Iglesias. He's a striker. I mean, he'll be a backup striker. He's not particularly good, but he can use both feet. He can play the advanced forward role. Okay, fair enough. And it looks like he was here last season. Yes, he was on loan, so he's basically staying with us. But we are going to be paying, I think it was 12.75 million up front, with it potentially rising to 24.5 million. I would not have spent 24.5 million on that. We do have a little bit of the transfer budget. We've got 56,734 now. I don't think it's going to be enough to buy me a goalkeeper, but hopefully Mr. Tycoon will come to my rescue. Right, it's the 1st of July. We've got players come back from loan and all that sort of stuff. We have had offers coming in for some of our players. Nahol Valiba, who is our #1 goalkeeper at the moment, we've had an offer come in for him from Atalanta for 20.5 million. The intermediary is taking 10% of this. So he's one that's on his way out by the looks of it. Eric Immonts is on his way to Saudi Arabia. We've had Al Ali and Al Hilal have come in with offers of £35 million. We did have Torino come in with 15.75 rising to 35.5. Not interested. I want the money up front. Then Lloyd Bierman's one of their youngsters at 56k rising to 300k. Then Krum Haliov is off to Al Etifak by the looks of it. One of our strikers, again an intermediary, 13.25 million. The concern I've got is we only retain 30% of the transfer revenue. I'm going to have a little request to the board to see if we can increase the percentage of transfer revenue. The fact that we are £53.6 million in the debt and overspent on our wage budget, I don't think we're going to be getting a positive answer from that. My concern here, I mean, we've got £4.5 million already in the transfer budget. What I usually do is move that into here so that the wage budget is back on board again. I am a bit concerned that we're not going to be able to buy anyone and I'm just selling people and I'm going to have no one to replace them. So this could be going wrong before it's even started. First new signing in, folks, and it is a goalkeeper, Stefanovic, that's the one. Igor Stefanovic, 28-year-old instinctive goalkeeper, comes in for £24 million, 9.5 I think has been taken out of a transfer budget. 3.5-star current, unlikely to improve. Pleased to sign a player of his calibre and importance. Keen to see him at a bigger club in this league. I don't know if he's been in this league before. We got it from Trabzonspor. So I don't know if he's been at Newcastle previously, made a few appearances for them. They sold him to Trabzonspor after a loan move for £11 million. And yeah, he's now here for 24 million in total. And he looks pretty decent, to be honest with you. I'm quite pleased with that. So if we go to our tactic, this is what we've got in goal at the moment. And we move Stevanovic up. He is an improvement by a whole star at the very least. Hopefully, the more he gets familiar with that role, he will get better as well. In terms of our schedule, by the way, we played some friendlies. We've been winning some games. I've not been playing them. I've let the assistant do them. I've just picked the team to go out there. And we're starting to get fitness into our legs a little bit. What I do want to do, ready for the game against Bayern Munich, is pick without restrictions, best 11. See how that comes up. This guy, by the way, all singing, all dancing left back is out injured for a few months. He's got 2 more months potentially out. So if we have a look down here at who we've got that can come in for him, he's a bit more forward thinking, so he's not the fit for him. Have we not got another left back? Here we go, Declan Harper, who is not particularly good, let's be honest. We'll have a look in the dev centre if there's anyone else for him, because 1.5 star is not particularly good. Have a look at the squad. Any left backs? I mean, we've got this guy here, Munoz, Jose Antonio Munoz. He's only 1.5 star at the moment. 18-year-old with 3 to 4 star potential. I mean, he can play both sides. I suppose he does have that going for him. If we have a look at the squad, the under-18 squad, not really anyone in there either. It looks like I need to buy myself a left back. I've got 15 million. I may need to be looking at a loan move. I mean, once Tubacao, yeah, we'll go with that for the time being. Once he's back, then no problem. We're fine in that position. We do need some strength in these areas as well. I mean, we've just not got a particularly good squad. We have got a player in for our best striker as well, Zara Velas. The bid has come in from Al Hilal. They bid 36 million. I upped it to 50 million and put it as non-negotiable. So I'm waiting to see if they're going to come back with an offer for him. Let's have a little look to see if they do come back with an offer. I'm hoping they don't. We've also had Fabio Ferreira wants to move away to go to a Champions League squad. And I've already turned around and said to him that I'm not prepared to accept offers at his current value. He's agreed. They've withdrawn that offer. Thank you very much. He wants to discuss personal terms. What I like is when they, like Ferreira's done, I went to Ferreira and said that the offer wasn't good enough. And he said, how much do you suggest? He actually suggested 120 million pounds. So I accepted that because I don't think anyone's going to pay that for him. We wanted 60 million for him. Let's see what he comes back with. What's he saying here? Sort of money they're offering is life-changing and I have to consider that. Wasn't close to their valuation. 65 million. There you go. So again, he's pricing himself out of the move really. So if they come in for a 65 million pound offer, fine, we'll have to take it. But otherwise, we're not going to bother. Who is this guy? He has no potential whatsoever. They want to buy him for a few £100,000. We'll take it because it will be £3,000 off our wage bill. We have managed to get under the wage budget. We've got a little bit of money in the bank, £15 million in the transfer budget, as I say. So the finances side of it, we have fixed. The concern is that the new season kicks off on the 8th of August against Chelsea. And we still need to make some signings because at the moment, our signings is this guy who I never even asked for, who could end up becoming a number one striker, and the goalkeeper that I wanted. So, yeah, more work to do. See you in a bit. We have a cheap and nasty left back has come in, Ayrton Shuka. We bought him for Coventry City for 4.7 million. He's got a current ability of 2 stars, 2.5 to 3.5 star potential. Very pleased to make such an exciting signing. I'm not particularly that excited. Has potential to be a really important player for the club. What I will say, I didn't realise this until after we'd already done the contract negotiations and all that sort of stuff, is he's 6'4" and has a jumping reach of 19. It's a shame his heading is only 11, but there you go. He can play as a centre-back, central defender, or he can play on the left-hand side. Has a little bit about him. He's basically going to be there as an option for us while this guy is out injured. He's a little bit better than Harper. Where has he gone? I think he's gone into our under-21s. Let's go back and have a look. Yeah, he's gone into under 21. So let's bring him through to our senior squad, and then we can pop him into our tactic. And yeah, like I say, he's not much better star rating wise, but it's not a bad squad that we've got. I mean, our midfield is definitely our better area. I've had a look for players on loan, and I just can't find anyone of any quality whatsoever on loan. So I don't know how much more business we're going to do before the beginning of the season, but we do still have £10 million in the transfer budget to play with. We have about £300,000 in the wage budget. So in theory, we probably could move that a little bit this way. Oh, no, not that much. Or could we do that much? How much more room have we got? How much wiggle room? So yeah, if we move that, we can probably still keep going actually. To give us 17 million in the transfer budget still leaves us just under £200,000 in the wage budget. And I think what my next move in the market will be is, do we have anybody that can play the attacking left, right or striker roles that might want to come in? I mean, we've got this guy here, looks pretty decent, but he's well out of our price range. And I imagine a lot of people are going to be, I mean, this one here, 17 million. Adriano Gomez from SEP. You'd think I'd remember who that is. I think that's Palmeiras. I mean, we could do with scouting him a little bit. 23 years old. He's probably not going to get a work permit, but we might be able to fit him into our ESC permits. He can do a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right. He prefers to be a striker. Okay, I'll see what comes back from the scout report on that. I don't want to just buy him blindly. But if we look at him last season, 14 goals and 2 assists in 29 games. Season before that, 26 goals from 47 games. So he looks like he does know how to score a goal. So, yeah. And also, I have just realised as well, because I had the email come through about players in the last year of their contracts. And Kobe Mainu is one of them, but we'll wait till later on as to whether we want to offer him a new contract. But this guy here, the one who we've been turning down offers from Saudi Arabia for, he actually is in the last year of his contract. If I tried to move him, Iglesias is another option we have up top. So if the other guy comes through, I might end up looking to sell him just so I can get something for him now, really. So, yeah, let's see what more happens before the start of the season. We've just beaten Bayern Munich in a pre-season friendly. I'm not going to read too much into it, especially considering our goalkeeper, Stevanovic, was man of the match for that game. Probably says quite a bit, really. Our new signing, Ayrton Schuker, our new left-back signing, done pretty decently, 6.9. Goals from Fabio Ferreira and Greg Chalmers with the goals. And as you see, substitutions were made. Iglesias came on as well for Saraveles. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off because I thought we was going to get absolutely battered on that. What I do want to show you as well is if we have a look at the club vision screen, it says there takeover in progress still, but we did get an email come through saying don't believe the takeover, the rumours about a tycoon takeover, which is what I expected to get anyway. We also got turned down for improving training facilities. We was a little bit in debt then, so I don't know if we can actually go back and request it again. Improved training facilities. Actually, we didn't request that last time, did we? We requested the increase of the transfer revenue. We can't do that again. It's not been long enough, but we'll ask if the training facilities can be improved, because at the moment we're rated 15 out of 20 for that. So hopefully we get some positive news on that front. And yeah, it's going, put it that way. And I've been looking at the squad. Bearing in mind, we had a squad of 30 players when we first got here. We've now reduced that to 24. And it's looking not bad. We've got a good stretch here of really good quality players. Got some solid backups down here with some really good potential after that. So I'm actually starting to feel a little bit more positive. I don't know if that's dangerous for me to feel positive, but I am feeling that way. So let's see what happens before the start of the season. Right, the season's about to start. We don't actually play till the Monday, I think it is. Yeah, the Monday against Chelsea. Presumably that's an evening kickoff as well. But a roundup of the transfer business. Uriarte has gone to Tottenham, 15.25 million. Immonts has gone to Al Ali for 35 million. Krum Halilov has gone to Al Ettifaq for 13.25 million. Jean Gongang has gone to Ajax for 20.5 million. Nahol Villalba, something like that, has gone to Atalanta for 20.5 million. Connor Hansen has also gone to Atalanta for 16.5 million, rising to 20.5 million. He's an okay player, but he's not anything spectacular. Lloyd Bierman has gone to Coventry for 110,000, rising to 300,000. This guy here, not going to try and say that, has gone to Birmingham for 300,000, rising to 425,000. And Brian Wood have gone on loan to QPR as well. In terms of the transfers in, Jose Raman Iglesias has come in from Real San Sebastian for £24.5 million. I didn't make this signing. He is a striker. He could well end up being our main striker. But yeah, he's come in and lovely, lovely stuff. Igor Stevanovic, who is one of my signings, has come in from Trabzonspor for 24.5 million as well as our number one goalkeeper, rising to 29 million. Ayrton Shuker has come in from Coventry for 4.7 million. He's pretty much a backup option with a little bit of potential. He'll probably only be significant for this season. But that is basically our transfer business. I have gone out and put in an offer for Adriano Gomez of Sao Paulo, or Palmeiras, sorry, the one we looked at earlier. He's currently undergoing a work permit, 17.25 million. I don't know if it's going to go through because we've only got 17.224 million in the transfer budget. We're overspent on our committed spending. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to adjust the wage budget. I am going to try and offer, if he does go through, I'm going to try and offer Zaraveles out as well, because I mean he is 32 years old. He's running out of contracts in the last year of his contract. So if we can get a bit of money for him, we paid 66 million, we're going to get nowhere near that. But even if we get 10, 15 million for the guy, then it's something, you know, so it helps the club out. So that's the position we're in at the moment. In terms of staffing, by the way, we are top of the class in everything. We do still have another coach we can bring in. I'm going to wait and see what our staff email thing comes up with. They have cut our performance analyst by one, so we are overdoing it on the performance analyst. And they cut our scouts by 5. We were entitled to have 21. And I was just started looking for 2 scouts. And then we got the email come through where they tell you what your new staffing numbers are. And they'd cut it by 5 to 16. So we're currently overspent on that by 3 as well. Our request over training facilities was rejected. You will probably not be surprised to hear about that. But yeah, we are about to start the season. We did beat Borussia Mönchengladbach in a Zaraveles testimonial. We're having a testimonial for him while I'm trying to sell him. So in tomorrow's episode, first 2 games of the season, Chelsea and Wolves. We've been drawn against Crewe in the Carabao Cup second round. That's how low United are at the moment. We're in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Chelsea Wolves will be in tomorrow's episode, and then we'll probably move on a little bit. Won't go too far forward, but we'll probably play Arsenal, Brighton, Arsenal, Burnley, Everton off camera, and then come back for something like Aston Villa and Brighton just before we have this big international break. And we'll probably do something like Man City and Tottenham at some point as well. So yeah, that will be in tomorrow's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Please leave a like on the video if you have. Subscribe to the channel. I always love to see that. And I'll see you tomorrow for episode 2 of Rebuilding Manchester United.